welcome once again to my YouTube channel. So what am I doing today? Well, today I'm going to be mucking about with more guitar things. Specifically what I'm doing today is I'm going to be biasing a tube amplifier. More specifically than that, I'm going to be biasing that Fender Hot Rod Deluxe right over there. And the reason I'm doing that is perhaps something I might do in a different video. I recently acquired a nice Marshall DSL 40, and I thought I'd also pick up the kind of Fender 40 watt equivalent, which is the Hot Rod Deluxe, and just kind of run them against each other for a little while, see which one I like the most, maybe stick with that one and move the other one on, or maybe, I don't know. Without further ado, let's crack on. Right, so now we've got the back off this thing, you can see a bit more of what's going on here. You've got the main circuit board there, you've got this little assembly down here where actually all of the tubes, the valves are located. And what we're doing specifically, biasing this, what that means is we're balancing the voltages between the two output valves. These are these big bad boys here, these all 6L6s. Now, so it's actually really easy, it's nothing at all that difficult, and actually most amp manufacturers seem to go out of the way to help you out should you ever need to do this. Right here in the middle you've got a little blue pot that you can move around, and that's going to allow us to adjust the bias, but we have to measure the bias. We have to understand what it is that we're actually measuring, and Fender have very nicely pointed out where we need to do that, and there's a test point on this circuit board right here, and I'm just careful I'm not touching things, but it's right on the very corner there, and actually if you look closely you can see on the PCB it actually says bias test point with a little arrow pointing to it. So we've got our digital multimeter here, and we're just going to set that up. I'm going to pop that in there so we can see it while we're working. On the ground side, little crocodile clippy thing, I'm just going to clip that to the chassis, which is grounded, and then we're going to use our little pointy bit to touch to the test point to get a readout. I'm going to be taking measurements in millivolts. Right, so before I do anything else, little warning, of course you're dealing with an exposed bunch of circuitry here, and tube amps especially have a lot of voltage running through them, and easily enough to kill a person. So if you are doing this for yourself, please take absolute caution and don't go poking around on bits that are live. So I need to warm this thing up. I want to have it on for maybe 5 or 10 minutes before I actually take a reading. So I'm going to switch her on now and power her up. And I think, yep, you can just see the tube starting to glow up there a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to give it 5 or 10 minutes just to let everything warm up. Okay, so here we are. We've let it warm up now, and you can really actually feel the heat coming off these tubes. So I took a little preliminary, can't even say that word, preliminary reading when I first turned this amp on, and I was quite surprised at what I found. I don't know if you can see that. Let's put the light on. Hold up. There you go. Can you see that? Currently sitting at 52.5 millivolts. It was even less than that when I first turned it on. It was sitting around about 46, 47 millivolts, which, if by all understanding, is actually way off the mark, way too low. That's kind of pleasing in a way, because it means when I've done this, hopefully this amp will be even better than it was before, and it already sounded pretty damn good to me. So I'm quite pleased about that. I've seen people running these really hot up to like 90 millivolts. I've seen other people saying you should set them somewhere between 60 and 70, and I think I'm going to err on the side of the hotter, and I'm probably going to hit it up to somewhere around about 80 and see what that gets me. So I'm just going to put this on here so I can read as I adjust. So we're at 52.5. Let's have a little adjustment and see what happens. Tweaking and it's going up. We're at 60, 62, 65, 67, 70, 75. Alright, 80.06. It's settling. 80.5, 80.4, 80.6. Alright, so we're pretty much there. We're pretty much where we want to be. And so that's it. We're going to put it all back together and see how it sounds. So I'm just going to turn this off while I do all that. Just pull out my thing. And let's have a little play and see what she sounds like. Right, so mission accomplished, I think. Having played this before and kind of been a bit about it, playing this now, maybe it's psychological, but there's just something a little better about it, I'll be honest with you. Just seems a little bit clearer, a little bit punchier, a little bit bitier, but at the same time, really nice tone. Full disclosure, if I run this amp as it is, on its own, it's far too loud for my environment here. I would have to be apologising to my neighbours. So I'm running a master volume control through the effects loop that I made myself, little 25k potentiometer on the effects loop. So here's my thoughts on that. I'm already pulling down the signals being sent to the power stage, right? So whatever the biasing has done, I mean, it's changed something, it's definitely sounding different, but I'm probably not benefiting from the full effect of it with the master volume pulling down some of the signal that would be going to the power stage. So that being said, I'm still quite happy. Obviously needed doing. It wasn't running at around recommended voltages anyway. We've now got it up to pretty much where it wants to be. So without further ado, as I like to say, let's have a little listen and see what we think. Switch to our top two pickups. Glorious, so beautiful, sounds great. Lovely, lovely clean tone. I'm not going to bother driving it, but it's right where I want it to be. It's really nice and very happy, so well worth doing. So there you go. Any questions, don't ask me, I'm not an expert. I had to look all this shit up before I did this, so I knew what I was doing, and there's much more knowledgeable people about such things out there who you should talk to instead of me. I just thought I'd make a fun video. So there you go, thank you very much for watching, and hope you can join me again sometime. Thank you, bye.